Mm. Oh my soul. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome back, all sports ranters, the million viewers around the world. We are here once again, giving you the latest takes in the NFL, discussing the things that might hurt your pride or not much your lineup anymore because fantasy football's over, but we're not too far away. But number one rule is here at the Sports Runner every week, you guys, is to have fun. Okay, if we're not having fun, we don't do it. Okay, but also more importantly, your questions, your concerns, whatever it is that's on your mind, your rants are our priority. So please don't forget to chat, come in, join us, whether you're live or replay every week. We're going to be here for you. All right. So thank you, Nick. Thank you here for joining us here today. All right. Usually we have the bing, the bang, and the boom. But it looks like we just got to today, which is okay. No matter what, we will be here. So, Nick, we are here. The Super Bowl. Fantasy is over. The playoffs are basically over. And we're already at the Super Bowl in February of 2026 with your favorite team ever, the New England Patriots. Let's break
I
this down,
know.
my friend. Let's break this down. Super
Uh,
Bowl MVP Drake May. Let's go.
are, am I breaking down the game or the Super Bowl? Because
Let's
that's
go
two
Super
different
Bowl
topics.
first. Super Bowl first, and
Okay,
we can
all
roll
right.
into
Because
all the other
I
crap.
gotta talk about those. I gotta talk about those championship games because I'm pretty passionate about those. But yeah, I mean, uh, even with Tom Brady was it's crazy, and I know I'm not the only one that shares this. I just feel like for some reason the Patriots are like the luckiest franchise. You know, the ball just bounces their way every time. Again, I'm not trying to take like credit away. I get it. They still got to show up, play, but like the things that need to bounce their way, it just seems like it always does, man. And I just like last year's Super Bowl. I'm pretty passionate. The AFC unfortunately has been the weaker conference. The Chiefs last year were not a strong candidate. We said that on the show. We said on paper the Eagles should beat the crap out of them, and that's what happened. And I'm not just a Patriot hater. I feel the same way. I
Mm-hmm.
think the Patriots have been a good team. They're obviously well coached, and I think if I want to be positive for both teams, I think if you noticed, the coaching is what got them there. Yes, talented, but like they outcoached all their opponents in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
They played
That's what I
cleaner, right?
said. Yeah,
The
very
cleaner
well.
game, right?
Yeah.
No less turnovers, less penalties. All that. That's coaching. That's coaching. Some of it's luck, but most of it's coaching. And so but it just seems like the Seahawks on paper should just destroy the Patriots. The Patriots had the easiest schedule since 1999,
Well,
and they meet the Chargers, which everybody, I
oh
know
my
we didn't all
god.
believe in the
Oh
Patriots,
my god.
but looking back, it's like, oh, the Chargers choked. Well, no, no, of course they did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, CJ Stroud's not who we thought he
Mm-hmm.
was. We knew that last year. He hasn't had a good playoff game yet either. Like they get four gifts from CJ Stroud and interceptions. Sure. Did they force him to do that? Yeah, but at the same time, like some of it's like it's not even forcible. It's the other player panicking, right? That's a bad player. So they get Stidham, and same thing. Stidham's he had 18 opportunities to throw that ball away, and he tries to two hand shuffle it forward. Like, dude, that's not. I get it. That's the pressure and all that, but like, if they're playing against just a halfway decent quarterback, a quarterback doesn't do that. A regular quarterback doesn't
Mm-hmm.
do that. So that's the lucky part in that. I
Well,
think they got lucky in not playing. Sorry, the Bills. I think they got lucky in not playing the Jaguars. They got to the Super Bowl with, for me, not playing the toughest teams.
look, let's backtrack because I know you only have so much time. I know we're talking Super Bowl, but let's move back to the AFC and the NFC Championship game real quick, right? Because yes, we can go on for days about the Patriots. We can go on for day about Sam Darnold too. But let's go over real quick for halftime. It's number one where you want to start. Let's go to the NFC Championship game. Okay, which was what the Rams versus
Seahawks.
Seahawks, which was a freaking fantastic game. right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of funny you said that because this morning I talked to my son about everything, and we said the same exact thing. I told him the same thing. Last year, we said if it's all fair, after all the crap that we've seen this year, if the Eagles come to play and the Chiefs come to play, the Eagles are going to kill them, right? We all said it. It's what happened. And I said the same thing to Christian this morning. If the Seahawks come to play, the Panthers come to play, from what we all seen this year, Seahawks are going to smack them. Okay. However, this coaching, right? This thing that we're talking about, this damn Patriots getting lucky and things bouncing in their favor. Ugh. Anyways, NFC Championship game. Nick, let us know what's on your mind.
Yeah, obviously, we all were looking for that game. I mean, a lot of us called it the Super Bowl.
Mm.
The people I was watching with, they like, hey, whoever wins this game, is going to win the Super Bowl. And I still believe that way. And that game didn't disappoint. Both quarterbacks, ball. I think Matthew Stafford's first quarterback ever to have 350, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers and lose a game in the playoffs. It's just unfortunate. I really wanted to see Stafford get to another one, win another one, possibly. I got nothing against the guy. I like him, and just to have 2 Super Bowls, I think he's on that borderline Hall of Fame. Some people think he already is Hall of Fame, but I think he would have solidified his Hall of Fame, candidacy with definitely making 2 Super Bowls and potentially winning two. But yeah, you got to give. I mean, everybody knows the storyline. You got to give Darnold credit. He shut up all his doubters. Like, can't play in a big game. This and that. Well, guess what? In the biggest game possible, same thing. Three over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Every time the Rams came, and punched, he punched back. And you know, shout out to Njigma too. That guy is a stud. He just seems to always be open. But at the same time, we've seen quarterbacks with stud receivers, and sometimes you got to throw them open. Sometimes you got to put the ball where they can catch it. You got to put it out of the defender's reach. You got to make the right read. That's what a lot of people are like. Oh, he was open. I was like, so you got to read it.
Mm-hmm.
To go back just because I like talking shit about the Chargers, like on the tape 22, apparently there's a lot of people open for the Chargers. And Herbert didn't see him. You know, so give Darnold credit. Like I don't really care when like receivers open, but even that, like Darnold made touchdowns with people in his face, getting hit, taking a hit. Like Darnold played amazing. And it came down to one turnover. The punt. Like can't catch a punt. I know Sean McVay fired their special teams coach early in the year. It was something that was dreading them. All 4 of their losses, I think, this year were a special teams blunder. So they could have literally went undefeated this year if they would have had their special teams under wrap. But yeah, it was a great game to watch, and it was it was it was one of those games that I would have been happy either way. I'm happy for Darnold because of the way he played, and I would have been happy if Matthew Stafford won that game as well. But yeah, I think it came down to one play. Coaching too. I mean, everybody's talking about the challenge. He should have challenged the timeout, all that stuff. I think he panicked a little bit. I don't even want to talk about the catch, no catch, because apparently, we don't even know. We're going back to we don't know what a catch is because Brandon Cooks is not a catch, and this one's a catch, not a fumble. But at the same time, he was getting tackled and going to the ground, so I don't understand the difference. So I'm sure there's a little nuance there or whatever, but either way, I don't think the game came down to that. I know everybody's going to focus on that, but the Seahawks, came to play, I think I put it on the fumble more than that last play. So
Well,
happy. It was a great game to watch.
well, we had the bing, the bang, and now we got the boom. Jacob, very, very well. Nice for you to show up. And so, what we're at right now is before we go into the Super Bowl and talk a little about MVP and some big Donkey Darnold talk, we're gonna go back into the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game. Nick just went over the NFC Championship game with the Rams and whatnot. So please, that lowest scoring game of the Patriots and the Broncos. What was it that you had saw, and what was funny that you saw?
You know what? It's funny because I watched every minute of both these games and I can't remember shit about them. Like I don't know, I don't know why. I was pretty intuitive.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, it's a trip. I was getting on. I was thinking. I was like, oh, what the hell happened at the end of that fucking at the Seahawks game? Um, Denver's defense is really really good. If Bo Nix is there, I think they win that game. I think pretty easy. The Patriots have had the easiest road to the Super Bowl. Through these playoffs right now. Um, I think the Patriots are going to get spanked.
There
But
we go, Nick. We just said it.
but
He said the
I mean,
same
they
thing,
play
Jake.
with Houston gave them 4 or 5 turnovers and stuff. But no, I tell you, man. How does Denver every year it doesn't matter, coach, whatever. They just that defense is just stout. But I didn't
49ers,
really,
Drew.
what's up?
I said they have all of Drew's former 49ers on this team. That's why.
Yeah,
I just had to say that. Sorry, go ahead.
And he would point that out. But
Yeah.
no,
Dropping a touch on the first pass too, or an interception. I mean, damn Hufunga.
But no, I think given the circumstances of Bo Nix, obviously the Patriots. I'd rather see the Patriots than I think a backup quarterback with Stidham. That being said, I don't feel like the Patriots have much of a shot against the Seahawks. The Seahawks just. I'm just gonna say this: the Seahawks are clearly everybody was kind of tilting it toward the Rams. That the Rams are the most complete team. I think with that Seahawks defense and stuff, they look great, man. Kenneth Walker, as far as fantasy output goes, man, he got ruined when they drafted Zach Charbonnet because that guy, you feed him and I mean he just goes and goes and goes. But all I gotta say is this: my big takeaway from the weekend is I'm so stoked for Sam Darnold because you don't get drafted by the Jets and make a career very often. Like you don't. When you got to spend your first 3-4 years in the league, with the Jets, and the guy, granted, albeit he's had some franchises that Nick, me, and you have discussed this a lot, like how to build a team around a quarterback to where you don't need to have a Mahomes or whatever to come in and do everything. The Minnesota Vikings had a great squad around him, good defense, good O-line. And the same thing with Seattle this year. But you know what? That's not taking anything away from Sam Darnold and what he's done the last 2 years. To go win, all those games with Minnesota and be the only quarterback, to win 14 games with 2 different franchises, back to back. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's tough to do. And so, God bless him, and I hope that he finds kind of a forever home for the rest of his career and gets paid because I think he's come a long way and he's earned it. Seattle they look like the team, man. They really do. That defense is incredible, and I don't think the Patriots is going to be much of a matchup for them. So,
well, let's lead into that real quick, Jacob. We did mention before we get onto the show here. Last year we spoke about all this Chiefs nonsense. If it's a fair game, the Eagles are going to kill them. We all spoke about it last year live here on SportsRanter. So same thing. We feel the same way, all of us. Fair game, whatever's happening, the Seahawks should smack them, other than the good coaching from the Patriots, okay? But here we go. So let's talk about this Drake May Vrabel. Is Drake May fucking MVP with the coaching Vrabel, all these nobodies? I mean, Sam Darnold, I know you guys hold you guys. And look, Jake, I'm sorry. When I made the video last week about Sam Darnold, you're all fuck Sam Darnold, right? And then I was like,
I said fuck Sam Darnold?
No, I was just saying, I was on the bandwagon after Josh Allen. I think you were still upset. about Josh Allen. So I was
still upset.
So that's what happened. But no, I'm the same way. So happy for this guy, and we're gonna end the show with some Sam Darnold talk, okay? But Nick, lead us into your favorite quarterback this year, Drake May, the quarterback of the Patriots, and why he's so good.
Before I go there, I just have to say, before I go there, I do have to say, because I didn't get to comment on the AFC game. The thing I've taken out of the playoffs is, yes, the players and all that, but dude, coaching matters. And
more than ever.
Now more than ever, man. More than ever. And I just don't understand what Sean Payton was thinking. I do not understand. He lost them that game, 100%. And I could rant on it all day long. And I first guessed this. I'm watching the game with my brothers. It's 4th and 1, and every single one of us kicked the field goal.
You're talking the beginning of the game, right?
Like yes, kick the field goal. Not only that, look, we didn't know it was going to be a blizzard, but if you're a coach, you cannot tell me there's not somebody on. We knew the snow was coming. Somebody on your staff is telling you, hey, storm's coming in. Like, it might be hard to play in the second half. And at that point, the Patriots had run 12 plays and had gained 12 yards. Your defense, and this was when it was clean. It was a beautiful day to play, and the Patriots defense was not doing nothing. To go up 2 scores would have been massive. And I honestly think, because everybody's like, oh, it would have been 10-10. No, that changes everything in the game.
Yeah.
And if people are like, oh, you always play aggressive all year long. I always tell people all the time, we talked about it on the first week. You don't just keep playing the way you played all year long because the circumstances are different.
Well, your defense got you there. The defense got them there. Like kick the field goal. Like what do you do?
It's different. If you're up, the only thing I would still take the points, but the only way it's excusable is if you're up 3-0 and you're trying to go up to 2 scores with the 7. Fine, fine. I will entertain it because another field goal, you're still 1-score game. It doesn't change all they need is 1 drive and they take the lead 7-6, right? But for 2 scores, I have to make that offense feel the pressure of, damn, we got to drive on this defense twice in this weather and this altitude. Like, that's totally different. For an experienced coach, I just thought it was one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen. And we talked about all the other 4th downs. Like, dude, we got to I get the whole analytics kind of came into the game. Like, dude, why is it so wrong to kick a field goal now? I just don't understand. How many games, all these games have been decided by 3 points. So how do you not value a field goal?
Especially it wasn't no 50-yarder. They're right there.
Exactly. It's a guarantee. Yeah. And not only that, the other atrocity is you have Stidham. Like, you don't, maybe with Bo Nix, Bo Nix, you feel a little better. You got to know who's out there. You got Jared Stidham, and you're still going to be as aggressive. You got to know as a coach, hey, I need to tone it down, play the game, not give him the ball, take the points when I can. Like, that's an obvious, that's not even like, that's coaching 101. Like, with the backup quarterback, you got to conserve it down. You got to play, and I get it. Oh, it's not Payne's mentality. That's fine. But now you lose the game. That's fine. Yeah. You want to live with it. That's fine. But for someone who can adjust, then I don't think that's good coaching. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I'm just saying in the moment, like, you can't just say, oh, I'm Sean Payne and I'm aggressive and I always do it. I'm not going to evaluate the situation. Like, well, no, that's bad coaching then. That's horrible coaching. And I think they ruined it. I mean, me and my brother are talking about it, and Jake, we kind of feel the same way you did. Like, I don't want to see the Patriots win because who wants to see the Patriots win? Like, we're all over them. But at the same time, it's like, do we want to see a backup quarterback in the Super Bowl? So we were like tied on.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell do I root for in this damn game?
Yeah.
Having a backup quarterback in the Super Bowl is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
So as far as competitive for the game, it's great the Patriots are there. But at the same time, I just wanted to lose. I wanted them to lose the backup quarterback so I could talk shit.
That's my call. Is Drake May is the MVP because of Rabel. And like I said, the good
He's
coaching.
not the MVP. Matt Stafford is. So let's move on from there. That's my 2 cents.
So is Matthew Stafford for sure the MVP or?
Oh, 100%. I don't even think it's close. I don't think it's close.
You can no votes on McCaffrey.
Here's what my 10-year-old son said this morning. The argument is Drake May did it with a bunch of nobodies and won more games. And so you can talk about Stafford, who had Devontae Adams.
Drake May had the easiest schedule in the league.
That's fine, but you still have Bakua, you still have Devontae Adams, you still have the best probably tight end tandem in all the league. So the argument for Drake May, like I said, is that, he done it with a bunch of
okay, but are you just going based on wins then? So whoever just has the most wins is MVP?
It's my 10-year-old son. I don't know what to say.
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you because Stafford almost threw 20 more touchdowns than Drake May. So you can say he did it with nobody, but the stats aren't close. So yes, he won, but like where I draw the difference now, it would have been different if, okay, Drake May throws 40 touchdowns and Matthew Stafford throws 44, and you're like, well, Drake May did it with nobody, Matthew Stafford. Then you can make that comparison or that argument. But like Stafford now has 52 touchdowns, and I think Drake May has like 33 or 34. Like when it's that big of a disparity, I don't think you can play the whole he did it with nobody and that and then the yardage and just his efficiency in that offense. Like
I agree.
He's just that's where I kind of.
But we've talked.
I kind of stopped the whole.
But we've talked about it how the ball seems to bounce in the Patriots.
Yeah, but not for MVP. Just for winning
hold
their
on.
stupid games.
If we're gonna talk about like referees and stuff, listen. Last year there was a clear there had been a clear motive with Mahomes and the Chiefs. Like they were trying to anoint this guy the new Tom Brady, rather than, this cookie cutter white boy name, Tom Brady with the nice haircut and the, perfect jawline. It's this mixed race, dude coming in and relates to these new, the new wave of fans coming up. They wanted Taylor Swift to be front and center in the Super Bowl and stuff. There's none of that this year. I don't think there's any kind of league bias or anything like that regarding, the Patriots. Like,
no, we just meant luck in general. Like, it just seems like, okay, it starts obviously with the tuck roll, and then you have like Spygate, and I get it, they got caught, but like, and then like they just, the ball just happens to bounce their way all the time. I can't go on and on. There's just been so many instances where
it's gonna have to bounce their way a lot, I think.
The whole, Marlon McRae, let's bring it up. Interception, game's over. He keeps running, fumble it. Like just things like that. Like there's so many plays. Like we could literally look at like 4 plays where the Patriots don't win 4 Super Bowls without like those plays. Now those are the only ones I could think of. Like just those little things. So this year it was like I was telling Jake, they get not only I think the easiest playoff path, like the 2 best teams. And it just don't happen that way. So the 2 best teams other than the Broncos are the Bills and Jags. They don't have to play those 2 teams.
Right.
They get the cursed Patriots and I don't even know what to call CJ Stroud anymore. Just gift them 4 interceptions. And then when they do face the best team in the playoffs, best team number 1, like the backup quarterback, like just those little things. It's like why do the Patriots get these passes? Like why?
Yeah.
Like. Why?
That's why I think they're going to get embarrassed. Like, it's not going to be one play. I think Seattle's going to.
No, I agree. Like Jake said, if they both bring their A game, just like we said last year, like obviously anything can happen. If Darnold just freaking tip balls, interceptions, like whatever, people fumble, whatever, cool. That can flip the game. Sure, anybody can win, right? The Patriots, but barring Seahawks bring their A game, Patriots bring their A game. Dude, it's a 10-point game plus.
I think
sure.
It's important that we tell all the viewers and the sports hunters around the world the era that we grew up in with the Patriots. It's very, very quick. Okay, are you guys ready for this? The Patriots era of our time, so you can understand. Because nobody gives a shit about what happened with DV12, Tom Brady the GOAT, and Deflategate. Okay, Bill Belichick or whatever, and Spygate. And don't forget Robert Kraft and Tailgate. You know what I'm saying? The Patriots are allowed to get away with all this shit, and everything still bounces in their favor. There's something where you say there's no Patriot bias, they don't belong there, Jake. You guys have been saying it all season long. The easiest schedule. You still said the Chargers are going to beat them. I don't know. I don't understand. I get it. You're allowed to analyze the game, right? We're allowed to analyze the game fairly. But what have we been watching for 30 fucking years?
Well, obviously, obviously you look at the Patriots and there's a lot of easiest schedule. They played, they played a cakewalk of a playoff schedule and stuff. Not getting there, not having to play Buffalo and all that. And Jacksonville, it's like, dude, come on. Like Jacksonville just creamed the Broncos in the Broncos home stadium a few weeks before. Like neither of those guys, had to play. So anyway, it's like, you probably could pick a better team to be in there to represent the AFC, but the bottom line is they're there. And you know what? Like I'm looking at like, yeah, they had the easiest schedule and stuff. Like, I get that, but as far as they were fourth overall in the league in passing offense. I think they were sixth overall in rushing offense. I think third or fourth overall total offense and sixth or seventh total defense. Like, I'm happy. I like Vrabel. I think Vrabel's a good coach. I think Vrabel gets the best out of his guys. I'm happy to see him there.
Yeah.
It's also really cool to see two teams that are not Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow. Like, we got teams that I feel like, in my personal view, built their organizations the right way. Like, they didn't need a superstar to go out and do it. Like, it's hard-nosed defense, it's balanced offense, and we got two guys that are not already anointed as elites, but that are coming up into their own. And so I think Seattle's going to whip the shit out of them, but it could also, I see, be an interesting Super Bowl. We don't know what Darnold's going to be like in the big stage, and those two quarterbacks. It's interesting. If I had to pick one that I think could handle the moment and not get buckled by the pressure, I think I would pick May over Darnold. I really do. I think I would pick May over Darnold, but I think Darnold's got more around him. He's got I think that they know how to utilize him to where we're not going to put a whole lot on you to where you got to make, risk making mistakes. But I think it could be, I think Seattle's going to whip him, but I wouldn't be surprised if it got very interesting too.
I agree, Jake, but before this weekend, but after this weekend, I'm leaning Darnold, and I'm not trying to be prisoner of the moment, but we've been asking, like you said, you already named all the Darnold stuff, but Drake May hasn't really been good in these playoffs. So I get he seems to hold his composure, but just because he looks like he's composed, I don't. He hasn't played great, and I get half of the game was in the snow or whatever, but look at all his stats, and I know he's playing against good defenses, but hey, you're in the playoffs. You're going to play good defenses. You know what I mean? You need to show up against these good defenses. And sure, he's made a throw here and there, but where Darnold on the other side, he had to go throw for Matthew Stafford, and nobody predicted if Matthew Stafford has a Matthew Stafford game that Darnold will be able to keep up with him. The way the Seattle was going to win was a couple turnovers, Matthew Stafford maybe having a good game, and then the Seattle forcing a couple turnovers, keeping it close, and that happened. No one thought, hey, the Rams are going to Rams are going to throw all over the Seahawks defense, and Darnold's going to go throw for throw with Stafford, and he proved it. And I think that's going to hold well for him and confidence in the Super Bowl, because,
Darnold to win that division, the West. Darnold.
Yeah.
That the pressure's on all year. That was no easy feat. Those teams killed each other the entire year. So for Darnold to come through, finish first, get the bye, and then beat what everyone claimed the favorites, the Rams. I agree 100%. Darnold just. Remember the comment that he made with the Jets where he said he was seeing ghosts out there?
I know. No one was ever going to let him down.
Sticks with me. I'm just dude, are you okay? You're good now, right? No, I agree. 100%. Drake May hasn't even really had to be good in the playoffs to get where they're at. So
let's talk about another point. I don't understand. I'm turning my son into a little beast. I'm like, dude, knock it off. But anyways, Drake May against the Houston, right?
Yeah.
4 turnovers.
4 fumbles, lost 2 turnovers. Lost 2 of them. He fumbled 4 times. They recovered though.
Whatever, against the Bills, right? 4 turnovers, right?
You're talking Drake May here?
I'm talking the Patriots, the teams that they played. They
that they got or gave up.
I'm saying Drake May played a Texans offense that gave up 4 turnovers.
Correct. 4 interceptions.
And then he played a Bills offense that gave up 4 turnovers, right? And so,
well, Drake, no, that was Denver.
Oh,
Buffalo played Denver.
Buffalo played Denver.
Yeah, Drake May was Houston and the
but they
Chargers.
got two turnovers from Stidham.
I see. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I thought I was on
The egregious turnover too.
Anyways, here we go. Here's how we're gonna end the show, and Nick has to leave by 7, and we're gonna cover this segment the whole dang time, so it's all good. Okay. Big Donkey Darnold, like you said, Jake. Okay, at one point was a Jet, which everybody seems to forget. Okay, the Carolina Panthers gonna pass. Okay, they were rebuilding. Okay, never mind.
The Jets weren't rebuilding when they took him first.
It was different. It was just different change of ownership. Anyways,
hey,
okay.
You guys want to hear something crazy? That quarterback class that Darnold came out. I think it was like Baker and I heard on the radio, he's the first quarterback out of that great class to get the Super Bowl. Anyway, I'm sorry, Ben.
It's okay. We're talking about Sam Darnold, particularly the Vikings. Okay, let's go down the list of what the formula is for the Vikings. Okay, because you had Kirk Cousins, you had Case Keenum, you had Sam Darnold. It's pretty clear that if you have a good quarterback, you need to get the freak off of my team. The SportsRanter Crew, Jake, Nick, myself, and Drew, right? The data, the logic, the chaos, and whatever, we could be better GMs for this team, for the Vikings. I love that Sam Darnold. I know that I don't know what I'm saying, but I find it quite odd his career path, that he was drafted as a Jet. Like you said, Jake, when you're drafted as a Jet, it's like, oh shit, here goes my career. And so it already happened. Now go over here to Carolina. You suck there too. Go to freaking Vikings and you're gonna win.
San Francisco.
How many games? How many games are you gonna win? And they still don't give a shit. Like, get off of my team. So hats off to Sam Darnold, man. Hats off to this man. I'm in his corner. I really, really hope that, like you said, Nick, this is monumental. This would be crazy for his career.
I mean, yeah, I think the biggest losers out of all this are the Vikings. I mean,
100%.
Like, dude,
well, that was a tough spot to be in for them.
No,
it is, but it. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know hindsight 2020, right? But like, you draft. This is the thing, and we've talked about this. You draft a quarterback, right? And everybody wants to play all these quarterbacks right away. JJ McCarthy wasn't this top prospect, wasn't, Caleb Williams, it's not like, so let him sit another year, dude. Let him sit. Like, you won 14 games with Darnold. Like, you weren't going to have to pay him that much. Like, as far as like, he got $100 million contract, 33 million a year or whatever. Like, I'm sure you could have worked something out. And to be honest, I mean, the Raiders passed on them too, so it's right. But I mean, we're not good with quarterbacks, so I mean, that's a moot point there. But we decided to go with Geno instead of Darnold. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like, looking back, like, dude, the Vikings are in a tough spot now. Like, JJ looks like he's not good.
Yeah.
Can't stay healthy. He had injury. Like, it's just tough. And real quick, it's kind of I heard this on the radio too, and I think it's kind of funny, but the biggest winner in all this, I think, is Zach Wilson. Like, it's just like, kind of like, hey, these Jet quarterbacks, like, maybe they got something, maybe we can get something out of them. Sam Darnold was dead in the water, dude. Sam Darnold was dead in the water, and so was Zach Wilson. So maybe a team's gonna be like, hey, if we get the right people around Zach Wilson, maybe he is a good quarterback.
Shit, that guy was a punk, though.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not by any means ready to. I think it was a really tough situation for the Vikings, because remember, and I'm not sure exactly his stats. I'm trying to look it up here. So it would have been 2024 in the playoffs.
He had a bad game against the Rams.
So, and that was it. Like it was like,
the Rams.
that was the word, how he did in that game, and was going to kind of determine. And remember, JJ McCarthy he lost a year because he got hurt, with his knee injury and stuff, and he looked like a guy who was his first year this year. He started kind of coming along at the end and stuff, but I'm not prepared to say that they made a mistake yet. It was a thing where it's like, hey, look, we drafted this quarterback. You signed Sam Darnold for nothing because you need a backup. He ends up being great in a great system with a great team around him. That's not taking anything away from Sam Darnold. That's just saying, like, situation's tough now. So it's like, okay, we get to the playoffs. He embarrasses himself. So it's like, all right, we're going with the guy that we have cheap for the next 4 years. Who, again, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think you're going to see a big leap, coming up. He's a smart guy. He can read the defense as well. He just got to quit making just, bonehead, stupid plays. I think his footwork, I think they need to hire kind of a quarterback whisperer, maybe a Brian Daboll or whoever worked with my boy Josh Allen that first year, but to kind of get his footwork and stuff down. But I'm not ready to write him off. I agree. Looking back now, it's like, you had Sam Darnold, you let him go. But in the situation at the time, that's a really tough decision to make. And I don't think if you're in that moment, that decision, I don't think you're going to feel good either way. I don't think there is
the only pushback, real quick, is they're ready to win now. So that's the only pushback. So if they were kind of like 8 and something and blah, 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 like, dude, when you got Justin Jefferson in your prime, you got Addison, you got Hawkinson, you got all these like.
But last year nobody expected them at a win. Now they were more in a rebuild.
But they've been pushing at the playoffs for quite a few years now. They've had good defenses always. They were up and down, of course.
But they get rid of the quarterback that gets them there. That's what you guys are forgetting. They get rid of the quarterback that helps them get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you get a quarterback that wins you 14 games. Like, I don't know. Sam Darnold's he's breaking all the molds, right? Sam Darnold's new to this league. So I get Jake where he's like, it's kind of hard, but like we haven't had, Rich Gannon did it, but he had already had 11 years in the league. So a little different where he just obviously got to the Raiders and John Gruden revived his career and he ended up being MVP of the league and stuff. The only other one I could think of is like Kurt Warner, but Kurt Warner's a little different of a road path, like of a path where people thought you're bust, you're done for various years, not 1 or 2, for 6 years.
Yeah.
And then just get I understand that part of it. It's not, he's kind of, breaking the mold in that. I think he's like Jake said, the first player ever to have 14 wins with 2 back-to-back teams. To just go to the Vikings and win 14 games when no one even you thought of as a backup.
I think if the Vikings had not just drafted McCarthy, who had gotten hurt.
Yeah, of course.
I think they would have extended Darnold.
Of course. That's the decision, though.
Yeah.
Jake,
So
right?
as a GM, you look like an idiot if you spend this pick on McCarthy and then you don't even get a chance to see McCarthy play. He gets hurt, and then you have Sam Darnold. Failed with the Jets, failed with the Panthers. 49ers was just the backup, and then it's like, though? Now you're gonna put it all on this guy.
Okay, but sometimes that's how you make your money. So we all thought Howie Roseman was stupid for drafting 2 the Redskins for drafting 2 quarterbacks in that draft when they drafted RG3 and Kirk Cousins. Were like, what is this guy doing? You got already, like, why would you do that? Like, sometimes the best moves are a little outside the box. We thought the same thing with, the Eagles. They signed Carson Wentz, and he's going to be MVP. Nick Foles comes in and wins, and then they're like, you know what? We're going to draft Jalen Hurts. And where everybody's like, why would you, why would you do that? And then, boom, there you go. Like, he's been to 3 Super Bowls now. So it's just kind of like, sometimes, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but you got to trust your eyes. You got to trust the play on the field and stuff like that. Again, I don't know what I would have done. Obviously, hindsight, I don't run a team. I don't know how I would think as a GM, but yeah, I think you got to be sitting there as a Viking and like,
I'm telling you, we could do a much better job. Let's talk about JJ McCarthy, number 1 this year. The next quarterback they're going to get rid of. Okay? they were winning. They were in the moment, halfway through the season. They were still in kind of that win mode, like you guys say. They were going after that win. They made a trade for Adam Thielen. Okay, and I'm not here to toot the Panthers' horn, but we can go back to fantasy. We can go back to the numbers. Adam Thielen was solid for the 2 years that he was there. That's why he was able to be traded. Okay, very clutch on 3rd and 4th down. So when he goes to the Vikings, I just assume he kind of helps fill in whatever they're missing to get to that playoffs. I don't know. They don't even fucking use him. Like, I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. Like,
He's 38 years old.
It doesn't matter. He obviously put up the damn numbers and helps you win in very important situations through experience.
What were his numbers?
I get youth development because that's what the Panthers are doing right now. All the old guys get off my team. I'm sorry. We'd rather make the mistake with the young guy than win with the experience because that's the long term developmental mindset, which is fine with me. I'm just saying another example of another shitty. The SportsRanter Crew can do a better job than the Vikings front office. I will bet everything I got, Nick, Jake, Drew, the 4 of us. We could do a better job next year. Get rid of Josh, freaking McCarthy. We can do a better job next year and be in the playoffs. It's just...
Have Kevin O'Connell go get Malik Willis and have him have a field day with him.
That's going to be a one-hit wonder.
No, I'm just saying, like, these coaches, like, you know what? The one thing the Vikings do have going for them, dude, Kevin O'Connell is an amazing coach. So
He is.
figure it out. Unfortunately, if JJ is a bust, you know, they'll have to go another route. But it is going to suck if they just, you know, waste away, you know, Jefferson's, you know, prime years here. You know, you really want to win. Same thing with the Bengals. Like, dude, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson ain't gonna be young forever. You know, like this is their prime, and you really want to see that. You know, which is kind of, you know, what Seahawks and Sam Darnold then were able to take advantage, dude. Second year and Jackson Smith and Jigbuzz just
Jackson
ridiculous.
Smith,
Dude.
my ninja.
So,
Yeah, those you know, for our dynasty league, I'm always, you know, whenever I want to draft a receiver, I always try and see, like, what is their, you know, college, what do they say about their route running ability and stuff. And God, that's such a hard thing to assess. But you see it with you know, he's a smaller receiver, you know, but the way he just glides in and out of his routes, you know, he twists people around. It's crazy. Justin Jefferson does the same thing. By the way, hats off to Justin Jefferson, because that dude, what a frustrating year. That guy being anointed the best receiver in football. And I mean, he had games where he didn't have a catch. He had one catch, and he stuck by McCarthy the entire time, dude. He could have easily thrown a Tyreek fit or whatever. And that dude, numerous times, you know, you see him get mad on the sidelines, but he's always over there with McCarthy, you know, trying to hype him up.
nah, he's I still have him as number 1, Chase number 2, but he's the best.
No, I mean, too. I love Justin Jefferson's amazing.
Dude, if Burrow had Jefferson.
Real quick, Cam Newton made a comment about this quarterback situation.
God, why are we talking about Cam Newton?
Real quick, I just said he made a comment about the quarterback situation in Minnesota. About fuck, you guys made me lose my train of thought. Come on, dude. Seriously,
Cam Newton's not worth our time.
It was a great point, you know. It had nothing to do with anyway.
You keep bringing him up because he was a Panther.
I know, man. Stop listening to the Cam Newton podcast, dude.
Yeah, he needs to take the feathers out of his hat and
he's killing your
find
brain
something else.
cells. He's killing your brain cells.
That's not fair. I had a good point. It had nothing to do with Cam Newton love. Okay.
You
folks.
said that he made a comment about the quarterback, and
Oh, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, exactly what we're talking about.
yes,
They're able to bring a guy like Justin Jefferson into the place and give him out. Do you think he has a house in Minnesota? There's no place he wants to live there. It's very, very true that Justin Jefferson probably wants to leave because he didn't buy a house. He ain't settled in no fucking Minnesota.
well,
Like,
he signed a big.
He didn't buy a house. And that's what he's saying. He signed a big contract, but he didn't buy a house. Like he's renting.
Well, yeah, look what's going on with all the Democrats. I ain't gonna buy something that's gonna be value.
Well, live next to all
the-
those
the-
Somalis.
The point was that they have a situation, all right? Justin Jefferson may be leaving, because he ain't gonna buy a house there. They don't want to keep the quarterbacks, even though he's been there doing his job, whoever the quarterback or coach is. So it's just interesting.
Every receiver always wants to leave. It's always greener on the other side. With
I haven't. If the front office of the Minnesota Vikings have.
Hello, Jake.
Rose.
Something happened.
We lost you.
like,
Must have been a bad point, Jake.
Yeah, they were like, nope, they didn't want to hear that. We'll give it a few more seconds. They were like, they were going to feel some more Cam Newton hate, and they cut it out.
He said Democrats. He said Democrats. Oh, that was the problem.
Democrats got
He said Democrats and they cut him off.
Right,
he said Democrats and cut him off.
He's back. I'm sorry, Jake. You said Democrat and got cut off, bro. So what happened?
With what?
We didn't hear
anything. You
we
froze.
didn't hear anything you just said in the last minute. You said Democrat and you got cut out. We've been laughing.
Damn it. No, I just, I said, who would want to buy a house in that stupid state? It's run by chaos to devalue instantly. What I said was, if the Vikings front office had any common sense, they would pull Justin Jefferson. He'd be the first person that you go say, hey, listen, you're the franchise. What is your confidence level in this quarterback? And what would you like to see happen? Pursue somebody else? Get a veteran in here? Do you have confidence in McCarthy to go through another season? If they were smart, that's what they would do. Because you're right, Justin Jefferson's everything with that team. This whole thing, he doesn't have a house there. I mean, plenty of these players don't have houses where they play. Like, who's going to go buy a house in fucking Buffalo, upstate New York in the winter? Like, hell no. But no, I think Justin Jefferson. Got to remember, grass is not always greener on the other side. Justin Jefferson's on a team where there's a good offensive line. They got a good defense. You got another complementary receivers.
Yeah.
As long as you have a good coach, I think players are willing to stay. It's when they have a bad coach and they're not doing good.
Well, look, what another fantastic show here at the SportsRanter. I want to thank all the million viewers around the world. Please don't forget that your rants and your safety is our priority here. So if you have a question, please let us know. We will get back to you as soon as we can. But if you are thinking a little clearer, if you're laughing a little louder and you feel less alone, then we have done our job here at the SportsRanter. Okay, our number one job and rule is to keep it fun. If it's not fun, we don't do it. But we will be back here again next week on Tuesday. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Nick. Peace out. Until next time, guys. Peace in the journey and
later.
Love. Great show.
What does everyone think of McCarthy? Did you guys?